Hi, welcome in. I know, this is the split screen. We never usually jump straight to the split screen. And the reason we're in the split screen is because we've had an absolute mare trying to record this episode of The Scoop. My internet has shit the bed twice. But not just like the usual shit the bed that I get, but like 5 minutes dead, need to restart everything level of shit in the bed. So we are going to miss out all of the introduction. If you are watching this, this is the UK's #1 video game podcast, and we have 5 new stories to go through pretty quickly for you guys. So it's probably only going to be about a 30-minute show. So please do feel free to grab yourself a brew, get tucked in. Nice. One thing that we did miss, though, and I said I was going to leave it, but I'm going to bring it back because... Look at that. Look at that.
Counter-Strike Global Offensive?
Yeah?
I hardly know her.
Me neither. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, I don't know. Chappers, thank you very much for the 36-month sub. Chappers did throw that down, and it was going to be in one of the episodes, but now it wasn't, so we brought it back because we couldn't leave that out. Goddamn right. Anyway, we are here to talk about a bunch of news. We're kicking things off talking about PUBG getting a CSGO type mode. We'll talk about EA's new Black Panther game. We'll talk about Capcom discussing the future of unnumbered Resident Evil games. We'll talk about Halo and a bunch of content that was cut from it, and Xbox Game Pass pricing changes / the reintroduction of offers. That's the news for today. If you want to see all of the drama that we went through to get to this point, there is about 66 episodes split into like 3-minute segments on Twitch that you can go back and watch it all through. But for now, we will kick things off by... I mean, I've asked you this question already, babe, so pretend like I haven't.
Yes. Okay.
PUBG getting a CSGO style game mode. What are your thoughts?
Yes, I'm all in favour of this idea. I feel like having a different game mode within PUBG is probably the best way of being able to try and bring back maybe lapsed people or people that wasn't interested in learning what PUBG has to offer. I've said this many times, and it's a discussion that I had this morning in 12 stream. Like, PUBG as a battle royale doesn't necessarily speak to me. It doesn't resonate with it off of the basis that it does take you a long time to be able to learn it, whether or not it's the attachments go better with this gun, or this gun isn't even available on this map, or just the map in general. People make call-outs within PUBG saying we're going to this location. It's not named on the map for me. I have no idea where that is. So having to be able to learn all of that stuff is a pain in the ass. However, it does have the best gunplay in any Battle Royale game. I mean, I'm including Fortnite in that as well. I adore Fortnite. I think it's the best and leading Battle Royale, regardless of whether or not you think it's too colourful or whether or not you think it's made for children. It's the best Battle Royale there is. It has daily updates. It has season modes that last 60 days. It gets wiped. Something else completely happens to the map. Like, the evolution of that game is market leading. Regardless of what your opinion of the game is, it's the market leader when it comes to Battle Royale games. But the gunplay in PUBG is spectacular. Like, there is nothing that comes close to how you control your character, and when you're pulling off these ridiculous shots like what Nacho does and stuff like that, it's the market leading. It's by far the best. So having a mode like what CSGO has to offer, is it classed as search and destroy? Is that what it is? It is, isn't it?
Yeah. So the article, which we haven't gone through, you won't have seen it on this this episode. I mean, I did bring it up on screen for you there. So the article that we're referencing is written by Sam Comrie at The Lowdown, and it's talking about a new PUBG Arcade Mode teasing CSGO style action. Every second counts. And that kind of gives you everything you need to know. We did read through the article on stream. That video will still be on our Twitch. But it talks about getting weapons like the P90, the M4, and so on. And we assume it will be your standard sort of... If I hit replay on this trailer, this is a spike kind of planting. If you've played Valorant, spike planted kind of thing. Valorant, CSGO, same sort of thing. Mm-hmm. All these players stood here. That view in particular looks like the start of CSGO or Valorant rounds, the buying phase where you choose what weapons you're buying. So there's someone there with a P90, someone there with an M4 on his back, some UMPs and so on. Basically, if you haven't played the games, you go through, you buy weapons, you get cash for killing people, you get cash for surviving, and the more cash you have, the better your weapons that you can buy. When you buy a weapon and die, though, you lose it, so you start again. So the game has mini economies running through it, and it looks like PUBG is loading that sort of game into PUBG, into its arcades mode. So Team Deathmatch exists in PUBG, Intense Battle Royale exists in PUBG, and there's a bunch of other game modes in there. I dabble with them, but don't really... I only tend to dabble with them if there is missions and rewards for doing so, because I want the PUBG Battle Royale action. There isn't really anything pulling me in there. Team Deathmatch, for me, is better on games like Call of Duty. Battle Royale, for me, is better on PUBG. So that's the reason why I play. If I play TDM, I'll go and play some Call of Duty. If I play Battle Royale, I'll play some PUBG. Unless I want to change a pace, then I'll jump into a Call of Duty then, play some Warzone. Or we'll play some Fortnite like we did yesterday, because different games, different horses for courses, different experiences, jobs are good. But if you are a massive fan of PUBG, you like the movement system, you like the weapons system, you've got all of that knowledge, and then you want a little bit of a dabble in CSGO, it can be an absolute chore to jump into CSGO. And I've seen players like Beans who've played CSGO for hours, months of their life over the last decade or so, jump back into CSGO and then just get his ass handed to him. I'm thinking, okay, if this is an experienced player playing CSGO, just getting absolutely demolished, I'm going to get that for 8 weeks minimum. So now I can get that experience on a level playing field with people that are used to the same sort of things that I'm used to. So in that sort of sense, it's a nice little crossover. Riviera is being touted as either the name of the mode or the location, and the other mode name that's been touted is Counts. So people aren't quite sure whether it's Riviera or Counts, Counts as the name for it. But yeah, it's a good addition. It's a good addition. The only thing for me is this gonna be team deathmatch in PUBG? Like, oh, that's a cool thing, but I'm not going to use it. Oh, that's pretty cool, but I'm not going to use it.
I think it comes down to what is actually available within the mode, though. Like, if they just take a carbon copy of what makes CSGO and the likes of Valorant a success, I don't know whether or not that will hinder them. I feel like they might need to do something a little bit more different, but not stray too far away from it. What that actually looks like, I have no idea. I'm not a game designer, but if it is very, I mean, the first aspect of it, is it going to be first person or third? I feel like it has to be first. I don't think, a third person wall peeking and stuff like that, it will just not work. I feel like if it goes through as a third person search and destroy, that ain't going. I mean, to be fair, Call of Duty did it this year. Call of Duty tried it, and I feel like it does work for that mode. But there's no way I'm choosing that over a first-person experience.
Don't get me wrong, I play PUBG in third person because I'm used to it, and that's where the queues are and all sorts and so on. I would have, in an ideal world, just jumped in first person, but there was no opportunity really because of queues to do that on console. There never really has been. PC, fine. Console, not so much. But I would not be interested, because for anyone that might not know the difference, if you don't play enough shooters, it's understandable that you might not know the difference between first or third person. It's just you can see over your shoulder, or you can see from your eyes. No, it kind of is that, but first person is if you're stood behind a wall, you only get to see the wall. You don't get to see it from over here and get to look around the corner. And if the other person's in first person, they've got the same thing. So there's no standing behind a wall and seeing stuff that you're not supposed to see. You only get to see stuff by sticking your face out, which means you can get shot, which means the game is more aggressive, which means if you're stood behind a corner, the only thing you're doing is preventing yourself from getting in a fight, not gathering intel. And for a game like this, where pixel peeking matters, people won't be peeking. People will be pixel standing behind the wall, which is just not. I mean, that's not intuitive for a good fighting game. So it has to be first person for me. I hope it works. I hope it's very good. And if it isn't, I will be massively disappointed, because we've had things like the tactical stuff added to PUBG recently. Terrible addition, in my opinion. Fair play to them for getting rid of things like the blue chips, which has just been removed on PC and is just about to be removed on console, and changing like the revive, the EMT kits, and like buffing and nerfing accordingly and so on. But it's trash. It's trash. It's bad. And the reason I say that is because they are clearly obsessed with this idea of arcade and fun. But this is Battle Royale. Like, people don't... Like, you don't even start with a pistol in your hand like you would on a Warzone, because they want to start off... It's Battle Royale. You've got to land, loot, survive. That is the mantra for the game. Land, loot, survive. But you can land and then deploy your medkit that you already have weirdly in your bag, but you don't have a bag, but yet you've got this massive crate that you open up that has a medkit, and it has a... Why would you be carrying a crate that has a medkit, that has a vehicle repair kit and a vest repair kit, that has a drone and everything inside it? First of all, why would you carry a box that's got all that stuff in it? And second of all, if you had all that stuff, why would you only take one? Why would you not take all of them? So get rid of them. Get rid of them. Put them in the map if you want people to be looting it, fair enough. But to give people all the time is a bad thing for me. So if their attention is now on arcade stuff, throw that shit in there. Don't put it into the Battle Royale. If you want to put it in the Battle Royale, make it be part of the Battle Royale that people have to land and loot to help them survive. Don't just give it to them. So PUBG putting their effort into other game modes alike. But as always, I mean, we're chatting this morning, talking about Battle Royales and Fortnite and things like that. We're chatting this morning in Ham's stream. Big Hamish, 88, if you don't know him on Twitch. He and a bunch of other people were talking about how Fortnite is shit, which is horrendously wrong, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Fact. Fortnite is a phenomenal game. I choose to play PUBG because PUBG is my kind of game. But they were talking about, they being a bunch of people in the street, were talking about how Fortnite is cartoony. In comparison, yes, probably is. But I said, and I'd recommend anyone else that hasn't done it, watch the Game Developer Conference for the State of Unreal from March 23 this year. And in that, there's like a 5-minute segment dedicated to Fortnite Chapter 4. And it shows you, like, they've added lumen, so they've got brand new lighting systems. They've got nanite, so when buildings blow up, there's all sorts of particles and textures and so on. Plus, they've increased the quality of the texturing. So the grass, there's more blades of grass and things like that, which all sounds great, fine. But then you look at it and you realise, wow, this cartoon looks better than PUBG does, because it started out as, cartoons are easy to draw. Which they are, but now it's a cartoon that's easy to draw that has just so much depth and visual fidelity across. It's not just a marble surface going up a hill. It's a marble surface that has multiple different textures and rocky outcrops and little bits of grass, and then there's different changes from snow to ice to mud to whatever. And like, I understand if you're not interested in the visual fidelity of a game like Fortnite, but it is so well done. In terms of movement physics, player animations, you can run and slide, you can run and like scale buildings, like grab hold of it and vault up the edge, and it works. There's none of, like, PUBG's had vaulting forever, and you're still 50-50 on whether you'll actually grab the ledge or you just fall to your death kind of thing. So like, love seeing that sort of stuff in Fortnite, and that's where I wish PUBG would put its time. Neaten the game up, add proper quality of life. Vaulting should work, and it should work in different ways. If you start sprinting, like Fortnite has things now like inertia. If you run and jump, your players do that. I always call it a Spider-Man jump. Like, do you know when you run and jump and you go, and your arms kind of go in the air? Like, no footballer in life ever jumps with his arms down at his side. You always get caught in those conversations of like, he had his elbows up, but it was a natural movement, and that's it, natural movement. Like, we don't see any of that in PUBG and stuff. So I would rather, don't get me wrong, I will play the CSGO mode. I'll probably not play it for too long. I'm happy it's there, and I hope that draws their focus for the stupid stuff, so that they can then focus on the natural movements and the lobbies and parties and things that will improve queuing times and so on. Why would you sit there for 2 minutes when you've got 95 people ready to go in a 100-player game? What is that? What? Yeah. So yeah, big news, good news. I like it. Big fan of seeing it, but it's not what PUBG needs. For me, PUBG needs PUBG. Leave CSGO to CSGO. If that's your priority, if you could pick off one thing that will make your fan base happy, it's not that. However, they are starting to put quite a lot of effort into improving the game recently. So if this is on top of that, fair dues. Happy. And knowing how video games...
way of bringing people back into it, though. Do you think that's their main aim, to get people to reinstall PUBG again? Because I feel like they're trying their best to try and bring people back, or bring people who like CSGO, who like Valorant, over to be able to play this game, especially because it's free to play as well. I'm not saying that obviously Valorant isn't, because clearly it is. But this is a game now that is just... It could just be another option for you to be able to play.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is, and Tito's just said the same thing, but you ain't going to stop playing it, so why pander to you? It's getting other people to play it. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about pandering to me. I'm talking about pandering to me to pander to other people. So, like...
It's to pander to me.
Well,
I'm the target audience for this.
Yeah, but would putting CSGO-like modes in PUBG's movement and vaulting and... Okay, we know the gunplay is exceptional. That's why we play it. But with everything else that's considered, would playing CSGO with those restrictions invite you into the game, or would you rather play a CSGO?
Yeah, I mean...
So what I'm saying,
I suppose it has to include the battle pass stuff. There needs to be stuff within the battle pass for me to be able to log in, because I feel like that is the whole point of BRs now. It's not just dropping in and trying to win the game is not enough for me anymore. I need stuff to be able to do to tick in. Like Nietzsche, for instance, was fucking fuming with me on Friday night. I wasn't streaming it. Just me and him was just dropping in and doing duos matches because I wanted to drop in and tick off my quest stuff. Me dropping in to win the game is not an option for me anymore. I've won many games of Fortnite on my own, whether or not it be duos, trios, or squads. Winning it with friends is amazing. However, getting to level 100 on the battle pass and ticking off all my dailies, all of my quests is way more important to me than trying to win the match. So me playing a CSGO mode, if it has the battle pass system to be able to tick stuff off as I go along, absolutely. The same with CSGO. CSGO is all about the finer details. It's about trying to be the best player on that team. That's your incentive in CSGO, and that was fine for me for about 2 years. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time playing CSGO. It's a fantastic game, but my evolution of how I play video games now is completely different than it was 2 years ago. Never mind 10 years ago.
Just to jump
when
in,
CSGO first started coming out.
There then, so you're enjoying Fortnite because of the season pass and all the missions to do and everything that's cool there. That doesn't exist in PUBG. I mean, there is a battle pass, or a season pass, or a survivor pass, or whatever it's called. And in comparison, it is weak compared to what you get in Fortnite. Fortnite gives you 100 levels for starters. PUBG it used to have 2 tracks of 100 levels. You now get 70, sometimes 100. Sometimes you'll get something for every level up. Sometimes you don't. Usually you get to around level 50, and then you get something crap at level 55, crap at 60, crap at 65, crap at 70, and it stops. And it's just inspiring skins. So the battle pass and survival pass comparisons, that's the problem. So, and that's kind of where I was getting at. So my issue isn't so much speaking about PUBG and comparisons, Nacho, thank you very much for the big old raid. We are talking right now about PUBG getting a CSGO mode and whether that could be enough to get more people in to PUBG. And I'm playing a card that's probably not the right card to be played in terms of conversation. I'm talking about the fact, and I'm fully aware that different teams will be working on different things, but we'll leave that to the side. I'm talking about the fact that is CSGO as a mode in PUBG enough to get more people playing? And for me, I don't believe it is. Obviously, different teams working on it will believe that. But, so Tito and Bibi both said... fucking hell, chat's going wild. I don't know what they've said because everyone's talking. God damn. We aren't going to stop playing the game anyway, so adding things like CSGO is to get other people playing it. For me, and Bibi was saying he plays things like Fortnite because the Battle Pass is so good. And I will say, in comparison to PUBG, Fortnite's Battle Pass is better than PUBG's Survivor Pass. There's more content, a greater variety, a greater spread, and you can keep self-fulfilling your prophecy there by getting enough G-Coin to buy your next pass. It's V-Bucks in Fortnite, but in PUBG, you used to get a G-Coin to pay for your next pass, and then they realised we can stop doing that and just make people buy it every time. So there's all that sort of stuff in there. That encourages people to come back, because you pay once and you're in it forever. But also, for me, the thing that would encourage more people to come back is to get the people that are playing it and are brand evangelists like me, or Nacho, or all the people that are writing in the chat, make the game better. And it's a stupid statement, because how? If they could just do that, they'd do that. But I believe they could do that anyway, just by working on the importance. The things like just driving through the open in a vehicle and hitting nothing and losing 40% of your health and your vehicle's lost 60% of his HP kind of thing. Get rid of that. Make vaulting work every time, so there's none of that weird stuff where you jump at an edge and then spin around 60 degrees to the side kind of thing. There's all sorts of proper... intricate quality of life stuff that could be the focus. And for me, I know it's different teams that are working on it, but I will dabble with the CSGO bit, and then I can, until I can't say for definite until I properly try it. I will dabble with it, I will play with it, but I don't, that's what she said, but I don't see myself putting all of my time into that because I want the Battle Royale experience that PUBG gives me. And that's where I think, I want all the rest of the stuff. I don't want tack gear permanently available where I get to choose one at the start of everything. Not interested. Blue chips are going, get rid of the rest of it for me, in my opinion, but I want better movements. I want those little trees that you see on the floor to not stop me. I want curbs to be something that someone that's in a life or death fight doesn't have to think about. You run around Destin and you hit a curb, you're jumping up and down in front of it. Why do I not just step up onto it? Because what? That's the stuff that if they put like all of that stuff is little stuff, but you do one big quality of life phase, and the people that play the game all day every day will brand evangelize to the nth degree. Anyone that plays PUBG all the time will just be like, okay, this game, that update, everything just works. It runs smoother, this, that, and the other. I mean, that's not even touching on the, do I get comeback on this game? Or do I have a respawn? Can I get your blue chip? Is there a thing on this map? That's not even factoring in all that sort of stuff. So for me, the CSGO bit is good. Definitely different teams, but I'd rather see just the core of the game worked on. I don't need new skins. I don't need new vehicles. I don't need new functions or anything like that. Just make the functions that we've got work, please. Thank you. Okay, let me jump back up through all of these fucking comments, mate. Nacho, thank you once again for the follow. Logic, Ubermat, and Stupid Game TV, thank you very much for the follows. We appreciate that very much. Mackenzie, Captain Granite, Leroy, Gotcha, Squid Game, Ubermat. Oh, you're all in the chat. Tellboy, Bully. Good evening, Bully. For a week, then no. Yeah, so exactly. You'll play it for a week and then you move on. Because you're here to play PUBG. You're not here to play CSGO. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Been saying the CSGO would be mode would be so good as long as you don't have to parachute in. Well, it doesn't look like that. Like the video that they shows you the Valorant-esque sort of spike being put down. It shows you players stood at one end of the map, just leaving the buy phase. So you've got to feel like it's just your standard. You're in a corner of Riviera, which is that what we assume is what it's called because of the name on the video. And there's someone else at the other corner of Riviera. It's a three lane map, and you all push to the middle, fight to the death, capture the spike. Jobs are good and nice. West, latest scoop ever. No. It's close. Actually, do you know what? It could be. This probably is the latest scoop ever. We would have been finished by now, but my internet went down like twice, and not like my usual internet going down. Everything shit the bed, like proper broke kind of stuff, twice. So not just an exclamation mark sky. I think it was. We've had some bad weather around here recently, the last couple of days, so I think it was maybe something to do with that potentially. Anyway, PUBG new mode teases CSGO action every second counts. We covered an article from Sam Comrie at theloadout.com. Please do feel free to keep dropping in with your comments. Exclamation mark Discord if you want to jump in there. West on exclamation mark socials. That didn't work. Maybe I should connect the bot. Nice. See if that works. Exclamation mark Discord. Boom. There you go. If you want to continue the conversation, we have a PUBG section within the Discord. Do feel free to jump in. Kane! It's been a while. Oh, hi, darling. How you doing, Kane? It's been a while since I've seen thee. For now, though. Been a while. Tune that, by the way. Next story. And it's quite a change of pace. This one is written by Eddie Makuch at GameSpot. It says, EA announces Black Panther game with Marvel and it's single player. Confirming rumors, EA has officially announced the AAA Black Panther game from a brand new studio. And this is only a few hours old, this story. So it was breaking as we were going live 72 hours ago when we first started trying to put the first episode. Damn. So Electronic Arts has officially announced that he's developing a Black Panther game as part of a deal with Marvel. But it's early days and plenty of questions remain unanswered. EA is also working on an Iron Man game with Marvel. EA said in September 2022 that it reached a long-term deal with Marvel, announcing at the time that Iron Man was the first of several new games. At least one more game, bringing the total to 3 EA-developed Marvel games, is also in the works. Quote, our mission is to build an expansive and reactive world that empowers players to experience what it is like to take on the mantle of Wakanda's protector, the Black Panther, EA said in a press release. Cliffhanger Games is led by Kevin Stevens, who oversaw the production of Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor and Middle-earth Shadow of War at Monolith Productions. He joined EA in 2021 to build a new studio, and now its first game has finally been announced. Barnes Emma, thank you for the follow. We appreciate that very much. Other members of the team at Cliffhanger worked on Halo, God of War, and Call of Duty. Quotes, We are dedicated to delivering fans a oh my god, I'll start this one again. I've butchered that twice. We are dedicated to delivering fans a definitive and authentic Black Panther experience, giving them more agency and control over their narrative than they have ever experienced in a story-driven video game. Wakanda is a rich superhero sandbox, and our mission is to develop an epic world for players who love Black Panther and want to explore the world of Wakanda as much as we do, Stevens said. Stevens went on to say that the journey to create the Black Panther game is only now beginning, so fans probably shouldn't expect to play the title anytime soon. We can stop there. I think we got the idea. EA announces 2 of 3 so far games from Marvel. We have an Iron Man game in the works. We covered that. Was it last year now? I think it was. We covered the announcement of EA's Iron Man game. Today, they have confirmed that there is officially a Black Panther game in the works. This was something that was leaked a while ago, actually, and I think it was leaked as being a Ubisoft game. But then Ubisoft announced the Captain America / Black Panther game that Ubisoft's working on. Or was it Square? I don't know. There's a lot of Marvel games now. They're all over the place. But now we have a brand new Black Panther game. Does this interest you, Bib?
Yeah, it does. I feel like it might be a bit too late, though. I'm not saying that it doesn't hold the weight that it used to do, but I feel like it doesn't necessarily have to be a movie tie-in film as well. But I feel like they definitely missed something with this, it not coming out 2-3 years ago. But the evolution of how we play video games and what titles actually work nowadays, like no one thought that the Guardians of the Galaxy game was going to be an absolute banger, and here we are. Definitely a solid 8 out of 10 experience. So I don't see the reason why this can't definitely be a part in that category as well. I just don't know what the game itself is going to be like. Is it going to be like a Spider-Man game in terms of the combat, like a Batman game, or what? What's it going to consist of? I feel like that's probably the way of being able to do it, and potentially not have the Nemesis system like in Shadow of War or Shadow of Mordor, but I feel like that might have been a good thing to be able to do with this. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this is going to end up looking like in a couple of years' time, because they might end up having another film come out before then. I don't know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this game is going to consist of.
Yeah, it's good that you mentioned the Nemesis system. For those that don't know, by the way, the Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor, the Middle-earth games had the Nemesis system, where basically you fight against bad guys in the game, and the result of that then leads into the next action in the storyline. Basically, you develop enemies as you go, nemesis as you go through the game. Great function within the game. And then they copyrighted that and said no one else can use it ever again. So it'd be interesting to see whether EA don't use the Nemesis, but use the enemies system instead. Because seeing as like Kevin Stevens, he oversaw that production. So he has hands-on working across both of those games that use that system. So it'd be interesting to see if he tries to deploy a little bit of that in this. But the fact that it's made by EA, like... We've got Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor. I feel like those have been big successes for EA when it comes to single-player story games with a Disney crossover. Obviously, Marvel and Star Wars, different properties, but still the same parent company. I imagine Disney is saying, okay, do us one of those and not a Battlefront 2. We want that level of success. So I wouldn't be surprised if it plays like a Star Wars Jedi game.
Yeah.
But then you throw into that it's got Halo, God of War, Call of Duty people in there. So we've got gunplay in there. We've got fast, aggressive movements on multiple different levels, plus powerful storytelling with God of War. It just sounds like an absolute dream to have. I mean, in reality, that's PR. That could be we've got 3 people from QA from Halo working on it. QA, the people that aren't... I mean, it's a very vital part of game development, but it's not necessarily people that are defining the experiences within there. But PR doesn't really need to care about that. All it needs to say is, they works on Halo. Let's get them in there. Let's go with me. So it might be something nothing. I don't know. So it might not take much from Halo, God of War, or Call of Duty. But I'm still excited for it nonetheless. I do agree, though. Not God of War, Black Panther... and maybe I'm not the right person to speak on this. Obviously, Black Panther is a character particularly for a black audience. I know, I can't remember the name of him now. Oh, there's a collective based in the UK, Shogun Shogun Ash, one of the friends of the
Nerd
channel.
Council.
Nerd Council, that's it. So Uncool Timmy from the Nerd Council. Naturally, he absolutely vibed off of Black Panther, and rightly so, because that's representation for him on screen. So maybe I'm not the right person saying this, but I also feel the loss of Chadwick Boseman as the Black Panther unrooted what was on course to be a very, very strong storyline in Black Panther. And I do feel like Wakanda Forever didn't quite hit the same level of significance for me as the first Black Panther did. But that said, this is a completely different game. It doesn't follow the MCU necessarily. So they could rewrite history there and bring back the Black Panther that people were accustomed to in the first film and tell their story in their own light. So in that sense, yeah, you may be right in the fact that if this hit 3 years ago, it would be an absolute banger. But on the same note, hitting now could mean that they can just capitalize on some of that steam that was lost. So excited. I'm very much looking forward to the Iron Man game from Marvel. I am very much looking forward to Black Panther as well. So from Marvel, from EA. So yeah. Barnes Emma in the chat says hi, and Kane says, "All right, Trico. All right, darling, how you doing? How you doing?" Okay, so rumors have been confirmed. There is a Black Panther game coming, and yeah, nice. Okay, question.
Yes.
Do you have time commitments? It is 16 minutes past 5. Should we run through these last 3 articles, or should we shelve?
I do. I need to be somewhere at 5:30.
Okay, in that case, then we will leave Capcom. We'll leave 343 Industries, and we'll just finish up with this one because we tend to try to bring you as often as possible Free Game Friday on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Thursday or even on a Friday. Who knew? And today it's not a free game, but it's an interesting story. This is from Tom Ivan at VGC, and it says, after raising Game Pass prices, which we covered last week, Xbox has brought back its $1 trial offer. It's available for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass subscriptions. So Microsoft has reintroduced a $1 trial offer for some Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. The introductory offer lets players get their first month of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate or PC Game Pass for $1 or £1. The deal is not available for Game Pass for console. The same offer was previously available for several years before Microsoft ended it in March, when it said it was evaluating different marketing promotions for new members in the future. Existing Xbox Live Gold or Game Pass subscribers who use the trial offer to upgrade to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate can carry over their prepaid membership at the time at the current conversion ratio up to a maximum of 36 months. So yeah, basically, you could get 3 years of Game Pass for 36 quid, which is ridiculous. I don't actually know. Some testing will ensue because I have an Xbox Series X that's sat there going unused because my Game Pass subscription expired and I had no urgent need to do it. So I may get myself an Xbox Live membership and then see if I can buy 3 months of Ultimate for 36 quid. And if it is, then that is an absolute bargain because, one, I'm not a new user. And 2, bargains. So I will let you know how that goes. But thoughts, babe?
Yeah, this is definitely one to keep an eye out for, like on the likes of Hot UK Deals or any kind of Xbox forum. Someone like My Xbox and Me, MC Fixer is the show host of that podcast. So it's definitely worth tuning into things like that just to be able to see again if this is something that is going to happen. But regardless, even if you've never used it before or is a continuing subscription like mine is, this is an outrageous piece of value for money, regardless of whether or not it's the £1 or the newly established £12 a month for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. If that's what the price went up to, could have been £13 actually, but £13 for that service to have hundreds of games to be able to play that covers and all different types of genres of games. So it's not just your first-person shooters, it's not your third-person games, it's not your action-adventure games, it's not your sports games, it's not your platformers. It covers everything. So there's definitely some value for money that you are getting in that package, regardless of what kind of games that you're actually into.
Tito just says we need to update the Game Pass command. We do, actually, because it says, did you know that if you have an Xbox, you can get Game Pass, where for a low monthly fee of $10.99, it's $12.99, as Bibby just pointed out, 13 quid. You can get access to hundreds of games, including day one releases, and even EA, Ubisoft, and Activision Blizzard games. Plus, you can even get the first 3 months for £1. Well, you might be able to get the first 3 months for £1 again now. We've left it there for that long, but it's also now $12.99. So
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I can't imagine this being for active subscribers. Like if yours is lapsed and then you go back in again, I can't see them letting you get back in at £1 for 3 months or whatever it was. Like, I can't see that being the case, but who knows? There might be a dodgy loophole where you end up traveling over to New Zealand or something for the day, just to be able to activate some form of discount code for you to be able to get this to work.
Well, if it's for lapsed users, I will hopefully be able to confirm that pretty soon, because I will do some dabbling and let people know. But for now, that wraps things up for us. We do have 2 stories that we are going to shelve because of technical difficulties getting the show going today. But if you want to find out about the future of unnumbered Resident Evil games, like Resident Evil Code Veronica, or what story content was cut from Halo, then do feel free to join us tomorrow from 10 a.m.-ish. It could be an afternoonish thing because we are in the office, and I know there's a few meetings early morning / mid-afternoonish sort of stuff, so it could be a later on sort of episode. But do feel free to join us for that, as these stories and more will be added to the roster for that. Then a big shout out to Barnes Emma for the follow, Stupid Game TV for the follow, Ubermat for the follow, Logic934 for the follow, and Gaming Nacho for the raid with a party of... Did you see how many it was, Bib?
Yes, it was 69.
Nice. And Chappers for the 36-month sub, 3 years subscribed to the channel. What an absolute hero. You're all heroes. We appreciate you all being here. If you are here and you're new, please do feel free to drop down a follow. It doesn't cost you any money, but you will send us closer to our goal of 4,000 with 3,900 and change. So... hopefully, before the end of the year, we'll hit that 4K barrier, which will be very, very nice. Yeah. So please do feel free to do that. For now, though, we are going to disappear, and we will pass on a little bit of this raid love to one of our friends. We're not sure who yet. We'll figure that bit out in the end slate, which you can enjoy. From now, though, enjoy the slate. Stick around for the raid, get your extra sprinkles, and until next time, stay frosty.